and it's not only looking at short-term profit, but also long-term growth. Sometimes having a great ROAS is like a watermelon. It feels green outside, but inside it can be bleeding.
Are you a fitness-loving foodie? Then Defy Snacks is for you. Defy offers real, high-quality chocolate you love, combined with functional ingredients, giving you as much as 26 grams of protein per bag, so you can be both a little bit bad and a little bit good at the same time. As a female-owned brand, Defy dedicates a portion of its profits to other women-owned businesses. Currently sold in the US, you can find us on defy.snacks.com and follow us on social at Defy Snacks.
Hello and welcome to the Shiny New Object podcast. My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, the creative effectiveness ad tech platform. And this is a podcast about the future of data-driven marketing. Every week or so, I have the pleasure and the privilege of interviewing one of our industry's leaders about where they think data-driven marketing is going to go and what is their shiny new object. And this week is no different. I am sat in Antoine Deventer's office, who is the Senior Integrated Performance Marketing Specialist at Bissell, and we're in Amsterdam. I'm looking out, and it's a beautiful city, and it's actually quite a beautiful day here as well. So Antoine, thank you so much for having me here. For anyone who doesn't know who you are and what you do, can you give the audience a bit of background?
Hi Tom, pleasure to meet you and welcome to Amsterdam. Honored to be on your podcast today. Yes, my name is Antoine, born and raised in Belgium and since 10 years in Amsterdam. My background is media at agency and at brand. And yeah, since 2 years I work here at Bissell.
So it's interesting that you've worked kind of both brand and agency sides. I always think that they're amongst the most informed and interesting marketing folk. But if someone was going to try and follow your career, would you advise them to do that? And what other advice would you give to someone who's like trying to get into this industry where AI is taking away a lot of those entry-level jobs, but someone still wants to have a career and do the kind of things that you've done? What's your advice to them?
Yeah, so I had a lot of thoughts lately about that because when I started, the space was really different. I started hands-on campaign management across the big media outlet out there, Facebook, Google, YouTube. And I really learned to do the export manually. It was no AI, do the reports, do the commentary ourselves, really from scratch. And I would say it's tough, it's hard work. But one thing that always kept me hungry and curious was how it works in the background. Why am I doing those stuff? Why am I setting those campaigns, setting up those budgets? Where are they coming from? What's the end goal of it? And as soon as I develop my expertise and around also tough leader and tough manager that also help me shape my thinking, my skills, often challenge me. It's always this curiosity about what's behind the KPIs that keep me sometimes awake at night, sometimes give me motivation to come to work. And I think that will be my advice, to develop an expertise and be curious, hungry, and stay humble to the young generation of media buyers.
So tell me a bit more about staying humble. What do you mean?
Stay humble, having a low ego, don't be shy to share is something I like as a motto. I often listen to podcasts like yours, of course, and I like people that are sharing their personal knowledge, but also their personal stories, case studies, things that are working for the brands, things that are not working. I often see a lot of inspiration there in my work.
And so for curiosity, that it's so weird that is one of the most common words that comes up in this podcast, but also in researching the book that Automated Creative released a month or so ago now, called Using Creativity and Data in Marketing. And curiosity seems to be the thing that makes everything work. That if you're curious about your data, you'll find something interesting in it. If you're curious about creativity, you'll come up with a better idea. But if you're not curious about your data and you're not curious about coming up with ideas, then quite often those things just don't work. They're not enough on their own without curiosity in the center of it.
Yeah, exactly. In my current role, I help translate business objective into media tactics. So I need to interconnect the different pillar of optimization of Amazon, and that involves a lot of data. The data is abundant, really a lot of data, and you need to connect SEO to paid. You need to connect brand sellout data, category shopper trends to each other, and then also link it to the brand, the assets, and everything in between. And if you're not curious about how the whole ecosystem work together, then I don't think you can make good steps. Yeah.
So that's really great advice for a student. Be curious, be hungry, and stay humble. But now, if you're talking to a more experienced performance marketer or data-driven marketer, what is your best advice for them? What is your strongest bit of knowledge that you find yourself sharing most often?
Most often is looking behind the vanity metrics. So optimizing media on Amazon, you're often blinded by the return on investment. Is of course a media that is that most people consider low funnel, but actually it has evolved in the last few years, and it has evolved even into a media powerhouse. The Amazon media capability has tremendously evolved into consideration, awareness, and so you can really lean into that. And yeah, sometimes in my career I also need to educate leadership about those capabilities, and it's not only looking at short-term profit but also long-term growth, and that sometimes having a great ROAS is like a watermelon. It feels green outside, but inside it can be bleeding. So there's always something to dig, and I like to do this parallel with the record digging, which is also my passion. I like to be curious about other music genre, go to record shop, to just research style, find stuff that haven't been played or haven't been digged, turn the rocks and see what's outside, open the engine and see what's really, get your hands dirty. And yeah, that will be my piece of advice.
So we're going to talk now about your shiny new object, which is your tool stack navigation. Right. We've not had this before. So you're going to have to explain what you mean by tool stack navigation. What is it? And why is it your shiny new object?
Yeah, so in my role at Bissell, I have a few tools at disposition to update and to make the business grow. So we are a family business coming from the US, and we are famous for our spot cleaners. And I manage the media across five European countries plus the UK. And I use the tool stack, and I navigate the tool stacks on a daily basis. And the tool stack are performance media tool, buying tool such as the Amazon console, but also market intelligence platform, where I can really, like I said before, optimize and interact the data together. So I'll say a few examples. So for example, we can leverage the data in this platform to link content and media together and see how they perform, and see how the competitors or other brands are doing in a specific category. For us, so we are the inventor. We create the product, the carpet cleaner, and if you are looking on Amazon now, you are seeing that this category is full of copycats, and this is basically how we can optimize, interpret the data to really stand out of a sea of copycats, because we are the Karcher of this type of product. We are the Thule of the carpet cleaner, and we can proudly say that in our communication. So basically there was a work stream here about claim testing, where we use data to really proudly claim our legacy around spot cleaners. So I think that's one example. Another example is I can deep dive in category data and shopper insight to find out where the traffic is growing in our categories. So we have carpet cleaner, but we have also a floor care solution. And we can optimize and shift the media where the growth is. That's basically something I do it on a weekly basis together with my media agency. I help them, and we together find the insight to steer the business.
This episode of the Shiny New Object podcast is brought to you in partnership with MadFest. Whether it's live in London or streamed online to the global marketing community, you can always expect a distinctive and daring blend of fast-paced content, startup innovation pitches, and unconventional entertainment from MadFest events. You'll find me causing trouble on stage, recording live versions of this podcast, and sharing a beer with the nicest and most influential people in marketing. Check it out at www.madfestlondon.com. So how did you arrive at that stack, and how did you develop your own navigation within it? Right, so presumably on day one you had some budget, you had your own brief internally. So how did you go about creating the right stack, and then how did you layer the navigation over the top of it?
Yeah, so there are tools that are given, right? That are given for the business that are also used by our colleague in the US, the mother company, let's say. And we optimize the business based on market share, basically, household penetration. So we have to use a lot of data to optimize our business. And at the beginning of my career, I also learned to develop a routine. You know, you open this platform, you check this, you check your budget, you check your performance KPI. This is your breakfast, basically. And this kind of routine and discipline and hygiene, I also have it in my role, even though I'm more senior now. I have more helicopter view on things, but that's basically what I wanted to bring as my shiny little object. Is still those 2 or 3 tools that I keep looking at every day.
Yeah, so I can't remember who it was that I was interviewing for this podcast, but it was a CMO of a very large fintech in the US. CMO, like a US CMO, as far as I remember. And she, at the weekend, would go through the spreadsheets of the data of the business. Like, that was her thing was, and I honestly can't remember who it was, but her thing was like, yes, I have to operate at this very high level, but if I want to dive into it like a heron into a lake, I need to know what's going on in the weeds.
Yeah, so here next to us, we have our newly launched a carpet cleaner. I think it was launched one month ago. So of course, I like to see how it's going in the weekend. I like to see how it's going on Monday night. I like to see how sales are progressing, of course, because it's a big focus for our campaign at the moment.
And so you tell me about your breakfast, right? Which is opening your budget performance, like your basic hygiene, looking at your three channels or your 3 levers. What's lunch? What's lunch if that's breakfast?
I will then call with my agency partner. They are managing our media on Amazon and off Amazon, and then see what are the levers we can pull together. Basically, the root cause analysis. When our campaign is read, we develop a plan together, action, and then report on it. That's basically my lunch. And I will say later on, I will also do a lot of stakeholder management. Like in every big or little company, you need to update your boss about what you're doing. You need to update your director about the objective and the result of the campaign, etc.
So I would love to know why AI isn't going to destroy this function.
Well, you have different layers in this function. So you started junior media buyer, and then you develop more strategy, then planning. You make the media plan. You align with business objective. I think that's something that AI on the planning side cannot do. I think the buying part, definitely, we see a lot of automation on the reporting side as well. but I still think translating business into media is quite something that requires a lot of experience, knowledge about how the different pillars interact together. And especially in a fast-moving environment like Amazon, I mean, every month they release new updates. It's not only a media powerhouse, but also an e-commerce fulfillment giant. So things you need to understand a lot of things, and it's getting more and more complex. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than AI, but at least I think there's still human minds and human brains and creativity a lot, especially in competitive categories such ours.
Yeah, obviously we've seen Meta's plans. Mark Zuckerberg said that all advertising is going to be automated by the end of next year. And I think I can definitely see that for smaller businesses like SMEs, like, you know, the smaller end of that. You know, if you and I were going to open I don't know, sell mugs or something, you know what I mean? We could just handing over an image and then having Facebook's AI just make loads of ads. That's great, right? Because we just want to make mugs, for argument's sake. But I think that's really interesting what you're saying, that translating business into media, that's really complicated. And automated creative, you know, we work with very high consideration products like yours, whether that's kind of Bose or higher end alcohol or pet food. These aren't the things you buy without thinking about it at the store. And with all of those businesses, I just don't see how you could AI that. You just can't. Yeah, it's too complicated.
I mean, for us in my current role, and as well, one of the challenge of the team that's creating the education around the product. So those are new floor care products that are quite new on the market. They are not like a stick vacuum cleaner where everybody knows and had already one of them. So into the creative, you need to inspire, show use cases of those products. Those are obvious one. You clean accidental stains with or without the power of the machine. You need to convince that it's better than just scrubbing with a sponge, for example. And this is how the creativity really plays a part. We as a leader brand also need that to show and communicate that legacy. But there's also all our work to stand out in the category, stand out as a leader, and that's something we reinvent every week. Look at the data, look at how we are performing, look at how we are converting, look at how new products are doing every week. We develop new assets, trying to show those use cases. And me as a marketer, my job is to make those assets, make that campaign also find and resonate with the audience.
So when it comes to improving your stack and improving how you navigate that stack, if we were having the same conversation in a year's time, what would you have changed? What would you have brought in? What would have moved on?
I think something around AI that generates, that maybe tells me where to look at, and then I can follow their recommendation or not, or trying to improve the AI.
So would this be AI at breakfast?
Yeah, exactly.
So you come in and there would be an agent who would go, well, I've looked at this is red, blah, blah, blah. You need to bring this up with the agency.
Yeah. And I will be able to do something else. I will be able to do more strategic work rather than looking at the data, even though I love it. Even though it's something, it's in my DNA, right? Mm-hmm. It's
so yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because I've been reading a lot about AI when it's saying that it's really good for doing the thing that you don't know how to do. So like, I don't know, the legal side of your job, for example, you know, you're like, that's not the thing that you're interested in. So you could get an AI to help you understand a legal element of your role, but you wouldn't be doing it very well. It's not like someone with a law degree would be able to do, but it can help us do those extra things. But it's, who said it? I can't remember, but basically said if you're basically using AI to give yourself a worse job.
Yeah.
Because if you love going into the data and you love it,
I'll be very harsh on the AI agent.
Yeah,
for sure.
You love it. Then if you find an AI to do that for you, then you're going to enjoy your job less. You know, I was chatting to a guy who runs a tech company called Wiremark, a guy called Tom, and he was saying, well, I want to create, I don't want to edit. Whereas if I give code to an AI, I'm just going through and I'm editing it. I'm not writing it. You know, the job I want is to write code, not to edit.
I get that, but on my example of using 2 or 3 tools every morning, maybe I can use one that solidify all the data together, and that's something technology could help.
Well, I'll be honest with you, we've run out of time, but that sounds like a very good idea for a startup. Do you know what I mean? Antoine, I really appreciate your time. If someone wants to get in touch with you, where's a good place, and what makes a message that you will actually respond to?
Not too commercial message, but feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. Antoine Deventer, or look for Bissell, look for a product, especially on Amazon, and that's it.
Nice. Thank you so much, Antoine. Hi. Just before you go, I'd really appreciate it if you could take the time to write a review of the Shiny New Object podcast on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, whatever it's called these days, or whichever podcast provider you use. We're an indie podcast, so it would go a long way for us if you could just share the word and give us a bit of a support on those channels. That would just be fantastic. If you haven't got time, that's also cool. And yeah, if you could tell your colleagues about the podcast, and also, if possible, don't forget to subscribe. And I'd love to hear your feedback. If you'd like to speak on the podcast or be a guest, or you think I'm asking the wrong questions, anything, I'd be super interested to hear what you think. So please email me at tom@automatedcreative.net. That's TOM at, I'm not going to bother spelling it. Anyway, you'll work it out. Thanks so much.